The topic for this video is how shameless and problematic Nigeria is at this point. However, there are two worrisome situations brewing in Nigeria which threatens the sovereignty of other African countries has to do with the religious extremism and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to again hold back on the insults for now and also put down your bias glasses and hear me out for a minute before you come in.
It wasn't too long ago, there was a banter between Ghana and Nigerians, at the same time between Nigerians and South Africans, at the same time between Nigerians and most African countries. You know, it wasn't long ago. And don't you find it a lot more funny that just few years or few months ago, Nigerians were standing strong and were, you know, establishing or exhibiting banters with countries like Ghana and South Africa. But now, observe something. Recently, Ghanaians are celebrating.
Thank you guys for tuning in to see what we have going on here on the stable of Vibe with Chivik. But first of all, before we delve into this topic, I would like you to do one thing and one thing only: watch and listen patiently to the end, because this video we're about to react to is a video that I have long been expecting. And for today, a brave Ghanaian has really touched on all facets, all angles, all corners of what I have been saying most Nigerians as chimney and so many others have been complaining and lamenting about the situation and the headway of Nigeria as a people and as a country. That's why most times I often bring Chimdi's opinion and postulations on here on this channel. And for today, we have been vindicated by a brave, intelligent, and rational thinking Ghanaian. I've never all my life heard a Ghanaian man speak this blunt, bitter truth just the way it is. Guys, this guy touched on a lot of facts. I mean, facts and figures that we Nigerians are yet to understand, even though personally I do understand. So in this video, we are definitely going to take an in-depth exposition of this video of a Ghanaian. I'm going to leave his channel's link in the description so that you go check him out and follow him. These are the kind of people I love, who are fearless and bold to speak out and speak up the truth to your face without sentiment, emotions, and bias. Because guys, of a truth, what is happening in Nigeria today is a concern to every country, whether you like it or not, because as long as Nigeria is in West Africa and is in the continent of Africa, indeed, if Nigeria sneezes, it will definitely splash on almost all the countries. Because at some point now, I've got Ghanaians talking, I've got South Africans, other countries complaining, even in the diaspora, Western British country, of the influx of so many Nigerians. And yet you will still, in this present day and time, based on the heat and the level and increase of the problem of Nigerians, still find ignorant, dumb Nigerians still stand to defend this open and white truth that is eating us deep in our bones and in our marrows. Now guys, without talking much, let's pay attention to these videos. As well, I will still rewind Chimdi's own postulations and I will kind of understand better, because at this point most people will not understand me, but I think at the end of this video most of you will seem to understand me and know my angle, where I'm coming from, and why I post these videos every day, every time. Now let's take a look at this video. Do not forget to hit on the like button, share, and subscribe.
To anyone who loves Nigerians and is connected to any Nigerian authority, and I mean it, I want them to see this. So kindly do me a favor. Please forward this link to them. Thank you. The topic for this video is how shameless and problematic Nigeria is at this point. I first of all know you would want me to mind my business and talk about my own country, Ghana. But listen, I don't really care about what you think. And if you haven't checked in my videos, I talk more about my country than any other on this platform. But at this point, it's not just silly and problematic how miserable Nigeria is. It's becoming for all of West Africa. And if you feel agitated already for my choice of words, wait and hear the rest of all I have to say. Nigeria's population is a national security threat to every neighboring and West African country. As of March this year, Nigeria's population is more than half the total population of West African countries. More than half. This means on any given day, the influx of Nigerian citizens to any West African country will easily swallow up the entire local population. This is why every country in West Africa needs to have a say in what goes on in Nigeria, on the backdrop of the fact that they like to travel, ladies and gentlemen. They like to move, and they are moving in numbers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, two major situations are making Nigeria look scary to the rest of Africa, especially the neighboring West African countries. And I said two major things. But first, let's put aside the lack of stable electricity and inflation for now. Those are regular problems everywhere that every country in Africa has to deal with. However, there are two worrisome situations brewing in Nigeria which threatens the sovereignty of other African countries has to do with the religious extremism and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to again hold back on the insults for now and also put down your biased glasses and hear me out for a minute before you come in. Are you aware of the number of Islamist jihadist groups operational in Nigeria as of 2025? Let me give you the list, ladies and gentlemen. It started in the year 2000 with Boko Haram, whose aim is to establish an Islamic state in Nigeria. Then the first splinter group from Boko Haram, called Ansaru, was formed in 2012. After Ansaru came the next splinter group called Islamic State West Africa Province, aka ISWAP, which started in 2016. Darul Salam also came in from the Niger Delta, and then the multiple Fulani militant groups came in. Just when we thought these groups were too many to handle for one country, then we hear of a group originally from Mali and also operational in Niger moving in to Nigeria. They are called Lakurawa. The situation appears to get worse by the days, from one bad jihadist group to a worse group. Ladies and gentlemen, is Nigeria becoming or already become the main breeding ground for all terrorist groups in Africa? What's going on here? When other countries are thinking of ways to create conducive environment to entice foreign investment, Nigeria is rather enticing terror. Let me ask you this. What conditions are making the northern part of Nigeria so enticing to these groups in the first place? Because this is where almost all of them are situated. Every day I read the news in Nigeria, I get terrified. Every time. Because the spillover of these groups will directly enter all the nearby countries. These are countries in West Africa. This may include the splinter groups moving to other countries or the citizens of Nigeria abandoning their own homeland for another. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious issue that needs immediate continental concern. Nigeria is a friend of Ghana. Nigeria is a part of ECOWAS. When they are moving into your country, we cannot turn them away. But when 1 million moves in at one time, what then becomes the fate of the host nation's security, sovereignty, and economy? And this can happen on any given day, ladies and gentlemen. And what actually terrifies me is this. I don't see any real political actions or steps taken by the leadership of the country to deal with the situation. You don't hear of the presidency talk about strategies. You don't hear of governors talk plans and senators the same. Where are the marches, ladies and gentlemen, and the demonstrations on the streets to force the hand of the government to face it head on? Where are they? It's like the fate of the people in this country is in individuals' hands. Those with the resources may hire armed officers for their personal security, and those who don't have to live carefully and away from certain hotspots. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the best Nigeria can do in their own country? Day in, day out, all we hear is kidnapping, robbery on buses and even on trains, village killings and so on. Is this ever going to change in Nigeria in the nearest possible time? Nigeria currently ranks 10 on every type of crime list in the world. Talk about cybercrime, organized crime, financial crimes, and extremism. You will find them on the top 10 list of all of them. What type of society are you building? On the criminality index on ocindex.net, you are 6th out of 193 countries, 2nd out of African countries, and number 1 in West Africa. You are ranked 19th among the least peaceful countries in the world, and nothing shows it bothers you, especially they that hold power in the country. Omanaja, what's up? When you finally get the chance to vote for a president who may bring a difference to the country, you reject it. You vote the same type of leadership in every election, and the problems continues. Why won't you try change? Why can't the people try what Ghana did? You come out in your numbers. You create your own coalition centers. You protect the ballot boxes at all costs and ensure a free and fair elections for once in your lifetime. Because if you as a regular Nigerian don't like what's going on in your home country, you have to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen. That cannot be done by anyone else but yourselves, unless it benefits you. What's the ultimate goal here? When you have chosen democracy as your system of governance and it's only making life a living hell for the majority of the people, what is the plan, ladies and gentlemen? This is disturbing. That is of equal concern as the first. This is about the level of poverty in Nigeria. You have more than 40% of your total population living below the global poverty line of $2.15 per day. That's more than 100 million people, ladies and gentlemen. That's a national security crisis. To have more than 100 million people who don't spend up to 3,300 naira in a day is problematic for the state's economy and for the people themselves. And here's how. The 3,300 naira per day will include your transport fare in and out to work if you have one, or to school, your breakfast, your lunch, your supper for one person. And so when that's not possible for more than 100 million people, then there isn't much these 100 million people are doing to contribute to the economy of the local state. People must work, produce, buy, pay taxes, and all of that, which runs the local economy. And that explains why countries whose citizens spend more do better than countries which citizens spend less. This is economic fact. Economic activities thrives off of demand and supply, buying and selling. And so, when purchasing power drops, supply power is affected. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to that is the low rate at which Nigeria's economy is growing. With the kind of population you have and expected to have in the next 10 years, your economy cannot survive on a single-digit economic growth in a fiscal year. Currently in Nigeria, your country is growing on an average rate of 3.4%. 3.4%. That's super slow for your size. You need to move that thing to more than 10% per annum and sustain it over a decade to meet the surge ahead. Your country's population is projected to hit 290 million in the next 10 years, and that's adding at least 50 million more people to what you have now. So the pace you are running will have to change immediately. From 2020 to 2023, the average unemployment rate was over 39% of the capable workforce until last year, when the new administration by Tinubu had to revise the method for calculating to reduce it to now 5.3%. Whether that is accurate or not, the reality of the people hasn't changed, and that's a huge problem. Ghana and every other country for that matter have our own problems to deal with, but at least not with the numbers Nigeria comes with. The very fact that these two situations I've just described has a direct impact on all neighboring countries is what has triggered me to do this video, because the rise and success of Nigeria is in the interest of all African countries. In the same way, the fall and demise of Nigeria is detrimental to all African countries, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, whether it offends your pride as a successful Nigerian who doesn't like your country being talked about in a negative light or not, that's not only up to them or you to determine what others may say, because once there is a problem in your country, everyone will feel the impact. Just like it said, when Nigeria sneezes, every African country catches cold.
His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the hand of God against these idiots called Nigerians. Tinubu is the hand of God against these half-wits, these midgets, these nitwits called Nigerians and their youths. President Ahmed Tinubu, thank you so much. Thank you so from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for fulfilling your purpose. We're still waiting for you in 2027 because your kingdom will reign completely. You must finish your tenure. I'm telling you the truth. That's exactly what God mandates for you. Everybody knows this. Now let me tell you something. Why are Nigerian youths ranting? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the exact representation of what Nigerians honor. He is the exact representation of what the Nigerian youths, especially their ladies, acknowledge, regard, notice, worship. Nigerians regard and worship rich men. Nigerians disregard good men and consider them to be foolish and idiots. So why are they suddenly changing when it comes to governance? I thought you people loved it when a person is rich, selfishly garnering so much wealth for himself. This is exactly what Tinubu is doing. Oh, because it is at your expense, because it is affecting you people. Or you people just forgot that you people are individuals, are midgets, are half-wits that honor men that have money. I thought you people say this, Pepe, go and make your money, go and make your... That is exactly what Tinubu is doing. So why are we... I don't understand this hypocrisy. Jesus Christ. Listen, Tinubu is a full representation of what we honor as Nigerians, of what we love as Nigerians, of what we consider successful as Nigerians. Oh, wait. You thought when it comes to the matters of governance, a good man will come and take over the governance of Nigeria. But when it comes to the matters of regard, a rich man will come and take over, right? The way you make your bed, that is the way you lie on it. The suffering has not started. See, God would send excruciating pain. And don't worry, for the righteous ones like us, our suffering is on grounds that the masses do not regard good men. This one is not our suffering. We've gotten used to this. So the suffering continues. Thank you, Tinubu. Thank you so much, Tinubu. Continue. Please, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to tell this story to prove the dangers of letting Nigerians in your country, including myself. Don't worry, the good Nigerians don't mind. The good Nigerians will always find ways to prove their good reputation. The good Nigerians are not agitated when you generalize that Nigerians are bad. Don't worry. Now listen to this. Sometime in Botswana, long ago in Botswana, when Botswana people were trying to get their shit together. Listen to me. Do you know what happened? Botswana decided to go into outsourcing. Want to remember, Botswana is like a child or daughter to South Africa, right? Good. Botswana people decided to delve into outsourcing. What is outsourcing? A situation of contracting professionals from other countries to come and help your countrymen grow in teaching and uplifting your economy or something. So what did Botswana people do? They outsourced Nigerian school educators, Nigerian school teachers to come to their schools and teach their children. So Nigerian people came to Botswana and were offered everything they wanted just to teach Botswana people from primary, secondary, and all those, What did we see? What did we see? Remember, before Nigeria was outsourced, Ghanaian people were already brought to Botswana. So Botswana people decided to also include Nigerians. Let me tell you, Botswana people intimated that throughout the stay of Ghanaians in Botswana, there had never been any iota of criminal record in their newspaper connecting to any Ghanaian. There is nothing like criminal records connecting to Ghanaians, as in fact, it is owed to the good reputation of Ghanaians that moved Botswana people to want to include Nigerians. But the moment Nigerians stepped into the show, we started seeing criminal activities. We started seeing criminal records. Nigerians started purporting criminal activities in Botswana. The truth was that Nigerian doctors who are professionals were also included to come to Botswana to teach and to commiserate medical activities. What did they do? They began to purport criminality. Now in Botswana, what you see are Cuban doctors. Nigerians are no more. Even upon it, you see Nigerians are being deported. Why am I saying this? I'm a Nigerian. I'm an Igbo man. My name is Chimdendo. Listen, I don't hide behind the truth. I don't hide behind lies. I love the truth above everything. I love the truth even above my family. Because my family, we are nurtured in the truth. Because we see things extensively. Listen, don't allow Nigerians destroy you. A word is enough for the wise.
Indeed, if Nigeria sneezes, it's definitely going to affect every country. Indeed, the rise and the fall of Nigeria is a concern to all countries in the continent of Africa, starting from West Africa. Indeed, the influx of Nigerians all over the continent, all over the world, is a major concern. Indeed, at this point, the problems and the situation of Nigeria as a country and as a people is supposed to be a concern. And I am very, very grateful and happy that a Ghanaian has broken this in bits and in details, just the way I have always wanted it to be said. Most times, if it comes from our mouth as Nigerians, what do we see? They label and tag us sellouts, they call us betrayers, they say all manner of things. And yet, these are the same Nigerians that would still go back to their closet, crying, wallowing in pain and in tears, because as a matter of fact, what is happening today in Nigeria is not democracy. It is clear, it is open and glaring in our eyes that the more we look, the less we see. And like we have heard, if care is not taken, if measures, as this man has stated, are not being put in check, put in place, as he has suggested and advised, a lot is definitely going to happen. That will not just affect Nigerians alone, but so many countries in the continent of Africa. And as he has said, Ghana, Togo, Cameroon, Niger are the nearest countries to Nigeria in the map of West Africa, right? And it starts with us. And it's going to begin there. Now look at where we are, and yet the influx of Nigerians in Ghana, in all these neighboring countries, is overwhelming. It is a cry for help. It is a situation beyond concern. And today we have seen the revolution. We have seen the awakening call that Nigerians, most of them now are awake and have taken the bull by the horn to say no, enough is enough. But I think at this point their cry is not much enough. Their voices is not heard enough, because it's as though it's falling on deaf ears, on wicked, blunt and evil leaders, as we have cited in this video. And that's why when you hear people like us talk, we talk from a heart of pain, a heart of concern, a heart of fear. Look at how a Ghanaian man feels terrible anytime he hears the news or news about Nigeria. Talk more of what other Western European British countries think and feel about a country. And yes, before you say no, it is not true, it is true, because look at what is happening in Nigeria. Unaliving, kidnapping, ritualism. In fact, I don't even know which to say and leave at this point. things. But guys, the situation and the experiences of Nigerians, from inflation to hunger to starvation to the fear of insecurity, every single minute, every single day, it is one news or the other. Look at what happened in Edo State, Benin, the other day. Guys, if this is not the height of evil, wickedness, and man's inhumanity to man, then at this point, I don't know what it is, because at this point Nigeria is nothing but a jungle filled with animals who are mentally derailed and unstable, who are yet to wake up from their slumber to their realities. Because at this point, as a lonely voice, I will always stand out to say it just the way it is, raw and undiluted, nothing but the bitter truth. I don't care what it costs me, whether my life or what, I will continue to stand and speak up. I will continue to expose all this evil, all this wickedness, deceit, hypocrisy, even from Nigerian citizens down to their leaders. Because as a matter of fact, we are all in it together. Whether you are in any part of the world and you feel it doesn't concern you, when it hits you to your nearest relation, sibling, family members, friend, or what have you, then you will understand better the gravity of what we are talking about and how deteriorated the situation is. And as a matter of fact, the heat is definitely telling on other countries, neighboring countries, as we have seen. Look at what Nigerians go out there to South Africa, Ghana, every country they find themselves in their numbers, in millions, to commit. Exceptions to the few, the minute, who are trying their best to uphold the integrity, the dignity, and that dirty, stinking name on the flag of Nigeria. But for the rest, we are yet to wake up to our realities. And this is not just an analysis or reaction, but a cry for help from a Ghanian, and a cry for help from Nigerians, and a wake-up call in the continent of Africa from Nigeria down to the west, east, north, south, and central Africa. Because, as a matter of fact, in conclusion and in summary, if Nigeria sneezes, countries in Africa will sneeze, because Nigeria will not stop flooding these countries, or every country, and it will definitely get to every country through that means, whether by their criminal movement agenda into other people's country. You will definitely feel the heat. So this is a wake-up call in the continent of Africa from Nigeria, because the rise and fall of Nigeria will definitely tell on us all. And now it is our responsibility and duty as Nigerians to deal with it and fight it to the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I, the ambassador, one of the motherland, I am pleased to draw the line here and off this mic, hand it over to you as my viewer, my subscriber, whomever you are, to let me know as well, based on what we have seen and heard today, what are your thoughts, your opinion, your input? Because I don't want to go on and on. It's getting to my blood, it's getting to my veins and my artery at this point, and I feel so pained, I feel so traumatized, I feel so bitter as a Nigerian experiencing all these things. And that's why I said, let me bring this here today. Let's all look at it. And please do me well by hitting on the like button, share and subscribe. Do not make this your last, because on here, exactly, keeping it real, happy, safe and blessed. And do me one favor to share this video, because this video needs to go around. More people need to see. Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. Do remain blessed. Have a joyful, peaceful and a happy day out there, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.